We're live on air.
Well,
Do you know what's really funny? The Zoom recording thing is like flashing at me saying it's recording. That's very distracting.
Did you not notice that until now? Because they didn't know. Now it's going to piss me off the entire time. So
Yeah, like I didn't notice it until like normally it'd just be a little red dot and says rec.
now it's going to
See what I
beep.
did? Wrecked havoc. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's flashing.
That is so distracting. I'm not going to be able to stop looking at that now.
Well, how do you think I feel every week when I come on here have to look at you?
Ah!
I pay you so many compliments and I get nothing in return. It's just like I'm working with a mirror.
You'd love that.
Show would be priceless, man. The show would be sold out. The tickets are gone. No, I wouldn't. Wouldn't have,
No.
have someone else to. Anyway, should we just like do it?
I'm so tired.
I'm so hungover. And put the perfect recipe.
Absolutely.
All right, mash a glass.
That's a play of the game. That is the play of the game. The impossible angle, and he puts it through. Importantly, danger, 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 danger. Butler, 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 Butler. Get around him! Get around him! Edge of the seat.
Jared Thomas, welcome to episode 53.
53. I actually knew this one was 53 this time. Every time you say a number at the start, I'm like, I don't know if it is that one, but this time I know it for a fact. I'm like, it is 53.
Me too, because I wrote at the top of the page.
Just to make sure of it. So we don't have
Yeah.
this minute spiel every time about what episode number it is. And now we're doing it anyway. So like nothing changes.
Standard, really. I'm going to tick off the three things that really are the core of this podcast. You're tired. I'm hungover. And we forget what episode it is.
Ding 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 ding. We are hitting the absolute jackpot this week. We are really hitting everything we need to. Exhausted. You are severely hungover. We're doing this late on a Sunday. For those that don't know, the routine for this podcast is that once it's done, once the episode finishes, I go to bed and then sits and lets it render and edits the clip, the thing.
Yeah.
He goes to bed, and the cycle continues.
So just to put it in perspective for everyone at home, we both have to wake up at 5:30 a.m. Jared gets to go to bed at like 9, because he's able to. I'm sitting here in the sweatshop to 11.
11.
Making sure everyone,
11.
everyone is able to view this podcast at 3:30 on a Monday. Like this is the balance of this podcast at the moment.
I have a few things that are wrong with that. Firstly,
should we get into round 18?
Firstly,
and everything
it is almost 9 already, and we've just started this podcast. There's no way I'm going to bed at 9. Secondly,
9:30.
11.
It's 11 somewhere at the time I finish. 11 a.m. in Perth because they're that far behind. I don't know why. Just a drive-by for the WA there. That's all good.
Always good.
It's amazing how you get to like the Nullarbor or like the border, right? And like you take one step over and it's like 3 hours before.
And it's a new country and like they act so differently and you're like, how do you do that?
And they have front pages and back pages of the coach happy that they're sacked.
Oh yeah. We could talk. We could, right? You know how we would talk about the episode, like just before this episode started, by the way, we're trying to figure out ways to like cut it down and stuff like that. I feel like this could completely get derailed if we got into any slight conversation about the West Australian newspaper. So I think we need to just steer clear of it by saying that was really fucking stupid. And the fact that the day after they completely backpedaled and were like, thanks for 2018. And it was like, yeah, fucking what? Like, oh.
Really frustrated me.
It's yeah, the fact that he's still managed to have a over 50% win rate, considering the last 3 years, I think is pretty fucking impressive, to be honest with you. So I don't know about you, West Australian, but oh well.
Anyway, let them rot in their own filth. Round 18 has occurred. Everything's
Yes.
been good and dandy. Uh, some weird results. Obviously, we don't really particularly talk about the rounds as we discussed, but because of how this year is panning out, we shall dive in a bit more into the run home as we did last week. We gave our predictions, but this week we obviously got people to chime in, which unfortunately, clearly they don't know what a run home is, so they didn't give us much. But that is okay. But before we do that, I'll give you give you a bit of the top 13 teams fighting for a top 8 spot. Obviously, you got Sydney, who are into 2025 already. That's how far ahead they are. Then you've got Carlton, Geelong level on points. Then you've got the Lions, the Dockers, and Essendon. The funny thing about this, before I go on after this, is those three are all on 42 points. Has there ever been 3 sides or even 2 sides level on the same amount of points with draws?
Yeah, bizarre, right? It's
Yeah,
so bizarre that this can happen.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
The Lions have one of the best percentages besides Sydney, so they're in 4th after the terrible start they had. It's incredible, but it just shows that every team likes to trip over their own feet. Then you obviously got the Giants in 7th. The D's jumped into 8th. Unfortunately, Port are 9th. The Dogs are 10th after their incredible win over the Blues. The Suns, all their wins have come from being at home, so their 11th is a bit obscure. Collingwood are 12th, and the Hawks are 13th with a horrid percentage.
Yes. Yes.
Crazy.
So yeah, as you were saying that, so every team between 2nd and 13th, there's 2 games between them, right?
It's
Which
mental.
is fucking bizarre. The thing that's getting me, and it's like it's crazy how this just proves how much 2 weeks and 3 weeks are in footy, right? 3 weeks ago, it was Sydney and Carlton, 50 piles of dog shit, and then everybody else, right? But now all of a sudden, Carlton are 2 games away from Hawthorn, and it's like, hang the fuck on. What the fuck is going on now? Sydney are away. That's fine. Whatever. Sydney are doing their thing. But it's so weird now that like the last just a couple lapses in form where the Blues lose to the Giants and then this week losing to the Dogs, and all of a sudden home prelim finals are back in action. Like Geelong is like, oh boy, like they're fucking licking their lips, being like, we got a home prelim coming up or a MCG prelim, knowing the AFL. But like, the fact of the matter is, it's so fucking close, and it's bizarre. Like with all the draws and everything, like at the start of the year when all the draws are happening, that's what's going to separate teams now. Like it's very funny, and it is a stupid year of football. Really stupid.
I just find it just wild that some of the results that are occurring right now, it is actually incredible. And if you weren't a Saints or a Port fan like we are, who suck, you'd be actually enjoying this season a lot more for what it is. But I'll give you next week.
Yes.
After everything that's occurred, I'll give you next week's fixture. Essendon play Adelaide on the Friday night, which you wouldn't say is clear cut. GWS play the Suns in the Expansion Cup on Saturday. Saints play the Eagles. Hawks play Collingwood. Yeah, so the Hawks play Collingwood at the MCG. Then it's Geelong versus the Dogs. The Power play Richmond, which is a dead rubber. The Lions play the Swans at the Gabba. Freo play Melbourne, and Carlton then play North. What a fixture!
That's a good way. Oh man,
that is a fixture.
there are so many games here that can go genuinely either way. Hawks and Collingwood, dead set might be one of the best games of football you'll ever watch. I reckon that game is going to be because Hawks tend to have Collingwood's number a fair bit, or at least get close. The fact that now Hawks are actually okay and they're playing a pretty down and out Collingwood, like Hawks have an opportunity to kill Collingwood season. Like,
Yeah.
and that is astonishing to me. And like, it's just bizarre. Cats and dogs, Revenge of Kitty Law should be fantastic. Like, Lions Swans at the Gabba is like, oh man, footy, hey, footy.
It just caught my eye because it's just fascinating to me that every single result in this round can have an effect on that team's season. Even Carlton
And, like,
North, for example, like Richmond lose to Port. If North Melbourne can, grab an unlikely win, they're a game free, and the Tigers have, pretty much almost no hope of getting off the spoon. Vice versa. So it's like every game has something on it. So we did around the glass table.
yes.
And we obviously did ours last week, predicting the top 8, which I hate already. So we asked the people, got a couple of responses. I particularly liked Pete's that he sent in. Pete retweet is what I call him. Definitely after this weekend's matches, I would retweet this result. He's gone with the top 8 being Sydney, Carlton, Port, Brisbane, GWS, Geelong, Freo, and Essendon. That's your top 8. Yeah.
That's ballsy, man. I tell you what that is. That is the predictions of a man that didn't watch Port play today. So that is basically it's basically
that is a man that predicted this prior to today, and a man that has too much confidence in the Port Adelaide Football Club.
You know what? I respect it. There is obviously decisions in mind that I regret too, and I'm sure he's already looking at that, being like, "Oh, gross." So I respect it. At least he's done it, and it's out there for the world. Just don't delete it because it'd be funny.
Hey, you know what? It could still happen. You just never, ever.
You never know with this shit.
No. Just keep believing, man. And Renee was the other one. She said Port and GWS should make the 8. Too much faith in Port Adelaide. These people.
Giants, I would like almost be like, yep, that's probably, I don't know if it's a guarantee, but it's like that's pretty there. Port last week I would have been like, yeah, absolutely, Port's in. And now I'm like, who knows? But like, to be fair, the Port result, I don't know how much we can take, like cadence we can take off it, considering it was Gold Coast in Gold Coast, and they are the equivalent of fucking 2007 Geelong there. So like, it's just, yeah, I don't know.
No, we suck. But that's all right. People can go watch the review for my honest hungover thoughts on that one.
Yes.
But it's completely fair. Like, you look at how this year is panning out, and I think a few people would agree, you just cannot pick it.
No.
So you cannot cosy pick it at the moment. Like, it is just so, yeah, it's, if I were to guarantee some like 3 locks for the year right now, besides Sydney, also 2 locks then.
I was going to say, I feel like Sydney, we can like put in their own little tier, but yeah.
So Sydney, I'm locking in. I would lock in Carlton, I think.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Even though they're 2 games away from, not making finals, I don't think the alarm bells.
They're not going to be able to do that. Yeah, they're not going to Carlton it that bad, I don't think.
Imagine, like they did the opposite of last year. It was so good and then just fade.
Right.
I feel so sorry for their fans if that happens.
Or there'd be some meltdowns. There would be, oh boy.
Come back to mediocrity. Join us. Join the Saints and Port.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. And I would say Geelong.
I was going to say Geelong would probably be my only other one where I'm like, I give them faith to win a game on like most days kind of thing, Geelong. They proved it, I think, on the weekend that they are very, very talented and they keep picking up players that shouldn't be good and then they are. And it's like, how do you keep doing that? Please stop. And then now they're going to just be good forever. Like it's never going to stop. And I'm like, that's just great.
Sucks because it's like Geelong. Now they're good again. Do you know who's really good?
Hmm.
And I thoroughly enjoy watching this kid play.
Yes.
Is Oliver Dempsey.
Oh yeah. I'll admit I was a very big Ollie Dempsey, not a hater. I didn't believe in the faith. And when earlier this year when it was Cat Saints and he played like the best game of his career up to that point, I was like, of course, like this nobody makes that has the greatest game of his life. And now I'm like, oh wait, that was just the start of him. Like he's actually really good. Like he's actually a really good footballer. And he's dominating. They moved him to the wing and he is so fucking good on a wing. I'm like, holy shit. Like
I just
it's
love
gross.
the way he moves from half. He'll go from like plays on the wing, but goes from half back, and you can just watch him moving on the screen, just going down. The best part about it is he wears the different coloured boots. Like I think he wears the pink ones or the orange ones. Well, that could be any of the colours. I don't know. My eyes were horrible on the weekend, but the way he moves across from the wing down the halfback helps out. But then he gets so deep inside 50 when Geelong are down there that he's got the opportunity to become almost a small forward.
Yep.
Oh, the talent to do that and to read the play so well. He's got like we talk about how Geelong have not been able to unravel like stars like for the future. Oliver Dempsey's one of them.
Yep.
Humphreys as well.
Because they
Lawson
lost
Humphreys.
Humphries. Yeah, that was exactly what I was talking about. How they keep managing to pull these superstars out of nowhere. He was playing waffle reserves at the end of last year, and they picked him at the pick 70 fucking two or whatever it was, and now he's like very good for Geelong. And I'm like what? And like, there's so many random ones where like you look at him, you're like, they should have been good. Like I respected the shit out of him, and like people made fun of him for it. But they picked up Sean Manor out of the VFL last year, and it was like, why are you drafting players that are already like 25? Isn't your list old enough? Like people were giving him a lot of shit for that, but then he comes in and he makes an impact straight away. I'm like, this is why Geelong is so good all the time because they just pull these players out of their ass, and I'm like, oh, just stop being good for like 2 seconds. Like, just stop being a good team. If they're going to go my entire lifetime, good things. Like, they will be good every year of my life. And I'm like, I can't deal with it anymore.
It is amazing how they can keep doing it, and the way that even their elders that play, like Dangerfield or Hawkins not out there at the moment, but these players that are like hitting their 30s, almost 35s, 36s,
Yep.
and they're just it's coming into the age where each team will have that 35, 36-year-old who just can continue his career and feel good about it, not be affected, and will continue to get 1 year, 2 year contracts because
Yeah.
I think Geelong have sort of set that example in that field. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Geelong in general, but I can completely respect the way they go about picking their team up, and they have slumps, but they know how to do it. They know how to get out of
And
them.
like I don't like the team, but I really like a lot of the players that are around the team. Jeremy Cameron, as I've said forever, is one of my favorite players going around. I love him. I love everything about him, like the way he plays footy, but also just him as a person. I don't know if you saw the post-game interview for the Cats. He gets interviewed, and then they ask him like, "Oh, you just gonna enjoy going on the farm for the weekend?" He's like, "Oh yeah, the best part of that Friday night game is get to go back and then enjoy a weekend on the farm." I'm like, fucking like what the fuck? Like this bloke goes out, kicks like 4 a game, and then just goes home to the farm and just sits there for 2 days. And I'm like, that's fucked, man. Like it should be allowed.
We all dream about going back to the farm on the weekend.
Just the best.
Like it's just, yeah. Anyway, so that's yeah, Geelong's probably the underdog for this year in terms of being in that flag contention. Then the rest of them are sort of who can get the Uno plus 4 card. Really, pass it on the next team.
I'm willing to put it down to 4 teams. I think. I know it's very, very narrow, like this whole thing, but I think I'm willing to say Swans, Blues, Cats, and Lions are the only 4 that can win it. Like I'm willing to be like that. Like I know it's very close. The race for the whole finals can go anywhere, but I think of the rest, Cats and Lions are both hitting form at the right time, and are just very talented. Like they've got a lot of talent on the list. They're also getting a lot of players back from injury. Like the Lions have had a lot of injuries, but they got back Ashcroft. Like they're starting to hit that sort of stride where their players starting to feel better and stuff like that. Lockie Neal is entering some very good form again. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous time to be an opposition fan, an opposition team.
Yeah. The Lions, you could almost, that draw they had with the Crows could almost cement them depends of obviously how Carlton go. And any team goes that's really in that spot, but they could possibly get a home. Like if they finish top two after everything, get a home final at the
Danger.
Gabba.
Danger. Yep.
That's
They do
all of a
last
sudden,
year.
yeah, like bang, bang, Gabba, and then Granny. Like Sydney, Brisbane. I don't want to put into it.
I was about to say Sydney Brisbane grand final.
Imagine that, no Victorian teams. And it's just the two most aesthetically pleasing colours in the crowd.
Right?
Grand
Like,
final day.
Beautiful. Oh, now I want it.
Sydney, Brisbane grand final. Sydney, Brisbane grand final.
To be fair, like Sydney against like any team that doesn't wear red is always nice to look at. Like Sydney Geelong grand final. God, that was good. Like the bays of red and then blue. And I was like, oh yeah, like that scratches an itch. Like that was a good one. I like that a lot.
I really know how to scratch your itch because I know you love that. How crowds look. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. But then like we talk about teams and the run home and everything, and I'm sure it's going to pan out into a massive a massive few weeks. So we've still got we sit here and go, next week's round 19, we've still got 6 games to go.
So much to go. Still
there is so much to pan out. So what we should do as well is start talking individuals like we have throughout the whole year who's been impressive. But I think the All-Australian team is definitely being talked about.
Yes.
We saw that halfway video from Fox Footy and who are the players, some of the names coming up. So I thought what we thought we could do, as I dropped my pen, is we could do All-Australian locks. So pick 5 you think would be certain for the team come the season end, which I think we're going to have vastly different ones. But why don't we do 1 for 1 and then see who's going to be in the team at the end of the year?
Sounds good. So I picked 5 where it's like I didn't want to just be like just straight line and just be like the most basic picks because there's probably like 5 you can actually be like these ones, but these are like my 5 where I'm like I think personally they should be in the team. And this is what I want to like lock them in. There's a couple here where it's pretty obvious. Like a couple you look at them, you're like, they will be in there kind of thing. But there's also a couple here where I'm like, there is a chance they don't get picked, and I'll be pretty upset if they don't. That's basically where I'm going after this kind of stuff. So the first one I'm going to go with is a very easy, simple pick. He's been in the news a lot in the last week. And that's Isaac Heaney, because he is finally sort of living up to the potential I think that he's always had. But he was always kind of inconsistent. He's playing that kind of forward role, but now he's playing basically full-time mid. And he's dominating. I think he is one of the ones of my 5 where I'm like, that is a genuine guarantee. Like, you look at that, you look at Isaac Heaney, he's going to be one of the first names on the list no matter what. So Isaac Heaney is my number 1 anyway.
Yeah, my number 1 is Zach Merritt.
Yep.
Just outstanding. And I, to be honest, would almost add the additional lock of him being All-Australian captain.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way he's gone about this year, and there's been certain games where he's just stood out from the rest. And we talked about last week when they bet Collingwood, and he was the standout for them. There's been countless of other moments as well throughout the year where he's stood up, and I think, he's going to be a lock for captain. He should be a lock to be in that team. He's been outstanding. Just to continue, he's just doing Zach Merritt things at the moment.
I was going to say he's kind of making a name for himself. Like he's had good years for a really long time now, but this has been his year where people have been like, "Oh shit, you're actually really, really good." So I love that idea. I also love the AA captain pick as well. It's great. My second one that I'm going to go with is I'm going in the ruck spot. I'm going with Brodie Grundy. Sticking with the Swans, obviously you can pick a couple ruckmen in there. Brodie Grundy for me, just you watch his tap work like. He to me is a really good eye test player. Like his stats are fine, but like when you watch him and the way he moves around the ground, the way he taps, He's so well balanced in the way that he knows where the ball is going at all opportunities. And I think that's why their midfield is so good because he really helps the way they move. And he complements the likes of Warner and Heaney and Gordon, and all those kind of the midfielders robot himself so well because he can just tap it in their direction every single time. And so to me, I think Brody Grundy should be back in there. And I think he's been probably the best eye test, pure tap ruckman at the moment.
So does that mean that Max Gawn misses out and that's purely because of injury?
No, I think
Are you picking a bench?
I think one of them goes on the bench. Don't know which one, but I think one of them goes on the bench. I think you have to put 2 rucks in.
Interesting.
I
like it.
Yeah.
Bit of ruck chat.
Ruck chat.
Ruck and roll all night long. My next one is Chad Warner.
Yep.
I think you're gonna have the big
three.
the big three. Yeah, you're gonna have Errol, you're gonna have Chad, and you're gonna have Isaac Heaney. It's an absolute given. If Brody Grundy's selected as the ruckman as well, to have that complete midfield I know we talk about aesthetically pleasing. Having a full team's midfield in there, be fully respected for the All-Australian squad is fantastic. And I'm glad, the likes of Chad, the likes of Errol and Isaac will get their recognition for the team's performance. So, yeah, I can see them all doing it. But Chad in particular, just everyone loves a flashy midfielder.
He's the ultimate flashy midfielder too. But yeah, I like it. Yeah. We're very Swans centric at the minute, which is that's the thing. I know half the team's just going to be Swans players, which is fine. My other one, another one I've got here. I think this year he has proven himself to be an absolute superstar again. He was already proving himself to be a superstar. He's put it on another level this year, and it's also the fact that he's playing one of the bottom sides in the comp. Harry Sheezel. Right, if he is not on the halfback this year, I will flip a fucking lid. I know North aren't very good, I get that, but he is a superstar, and he will lead that team forever. He will always be the best player on that team, and he is so good at what he does. He's decision making by foot. He's damaging in front of goal now. He's a very good footballer, and Harry Sheezel has to have that halfback spot in the All-Australian team. Otherwise, it's what is even going on?
I agree, and he's been massive in the big moments too. When they've won their games, Harry Sheezel has stood up and been prolific in that. So I like that pick. I think we all talk about Big Charlie Curnow being the key centerpiece of the All-Australian forward line. There's one man in particular as well I think is going to be right next to him, and that's going to be Jesse Hogan.
Nice.
I think he's going to get his nod. He's second in the Coleman, equal second in the Coleman at the moment. He's had a great season. He's been the big key forward that GWS wanted him to be. He's been the big key forward that we have all wanted him to be since he's come onto the scene, and been probably one of the more talked about players over the time. So for him to have the season he's having, there's still a fair bit of time left, but I think he can finish second in the Coleman and really he can still get it, obviously, but he's fighting along the likes of Ben King, and then obviously Curnow, Mackay's around the mark as well. So, yeah, but I can see just big Jesse Hogan getting his flowers.
I like it. I'm kind of going a similar vibe to you, and I think you literally just said his name in that little block. I would love to see Ben King get the nod this year. I think his ability to fly the ball, and this is kind of the difference that I see between him and his brother a lot of the time, is that both of them have the ability to fly the ball. What Ben does is he gets up, and as soon as he hits the ground again, he's immediately trying to figure out how he can make the next impact. Whether it's putting a block on, whether it's getting the ball up and giving a handball, whether it's whatever the case may be, he is always at every contest he can be, and he continues to work. His work rate is fucking phenomenal. He's quick, he's such a good footballer, and he can kick goals. He's a very good, just pure set shot, pure mark, pure kick for goal. He's very, very good. And I would just love to see Ben King get that nod because Gold Coast aren't bad by any stretch. And it's the fact that he is making the most of his chances, I think, that gives them the best opportunity. So I would love to see Ben King get a run. This is one that's a little bit, I'm getting into a bit I don't know, territories. because you have to squeeze a lot of people with this thing. But I would love to see Ben King there. I just have a soft spot for him. I think he's fantastic. So Ben would be a great one for me. He's my Jesse Hogan, basically. He's like that's the one that I want in there. I'd love to have Ben King in there.
Both of them, Jesse Hogan and Ben King, on 45 goals, 16 for the year.
Look at that. How about
So
it?
maybe we have found a little poll that we can do this week.
Yep.
Who
I like
is
it.
better?
Who do you want us to, who would you rather have in the Australian team out of Jesse Hogan or Ben King? I think that's it's a good little poll.
I'm 2 from 2 from the poll as well. So
You are.
very, very good. Zach Butters is my next pick.
Nice.
Now, it's not even biasness. My reasoning is purely because for some reason I've noticed over the years all Australian selections come with controversy or heavily talked about players throughout the year. We talk about Isaac Heaney.
Yep.
You know, we talk about the players that have been prolific in games, but also been edgy, as they say. So I think Zach Butters, because of the way he's still gone about things, he's a very controversial footballer, but he still just gets so much of the foot. He's so creative, and in his best, like he's had multiple games he's been tagged and still had an impact in those games. I think he is just at the moment one of those players that he'll be on the bench. Like he's going to be a bench selected All Australian player.
Yeah.
But I think you just have him in there, and I think that's how they'll pick it.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's been sort of more controversial this year. I think in other years, like other years, he's kind of antics have gone a little bit unnoticed, and now it's like, hang on, like maybe he does some questionable things at times. I love it though. Like he's always been this, like he was this good last year, you know, and like he is consistently this kind of footballer. And I think you're exactly right in that. Not even for the fact that he hasn't been good enough to be in that starting midfield. I just think you look at the likes of the competition that he's going to have around him, where they're going to put Cripps and Bont in there. That's a guarantee. Like, you know, they're going to be in the starting midfield, and that starts cutting off the numbers a little bit. Neil gets in there as well, and it's like, okay, like midfield spots are kind of coming at a premium. So I think Butters is, the kind of that bench player, but I think he makes it. I think that's a good way of putting it, which is good. My last one is, if we're just doing the first half of the year, I'd say this isn't as controversial as it is now, but now it's a little bit more controversial, kind of, but not really. Harry Mackay. Now, I have always said, and I said this last year as well, when Harry wasn't playing as good as he is now, I said that guy, Harry Mackay, once in between the arcs, is one of the best footballers going around. Because that man can take any fucking mark he wants. If he's on the wing and you're kicking it, like he's the perfect, right? This is the exact scenario. To kick in, like you do the little kick to the pocket just to get out of jail. The next one always has to be a long one down the line. You want Harry Mackay at the end of that next long one because he will take that mark and he will lead onto it and take it. In between the arcs, Harry Mackay is an incredible footballer. I love the way he goes about it. I love the way he attacks the footy. And this year he's added that part to his game where his goal kicking's come back, his confidence has come back. He's kicked a lot of goals this year, Harry. I think as an all-around footballer for 4 quarters, he's better than Charlie. Charlie has those moments, those 5 minutes where he kicks 3. But I think over the full 4 quarters, Harry Mackay is a better footballer than Charlie. And that's why I think you should like congratulate him and give him the recognition for the fact that he has been such a well-rounded footballer this year, all over the field, that I think he gets in. And I want him to get in really badly.
Yeah. I mean, it's wide open.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just throw in my last one before I get to the reasoning for your selection. Mine's Errol Gooden, so just the easy one. Lock it in. You know what's happening.
That last one, yep.
Mence, yep, just lock it in. No worries at all. This thing, and this is why I think you look at the likes of many midfielders getting into this side, and we'll have, I think, one of the more taller All-Australian forward lines. And you look at the common medal race at the moment. You look at the leading goalkeepers for the year. The first small forward is Tyson Stengel, 33 goals for the year. He is in 12th.
Yep.
The rest of them, Bailey Fritsch is a key forward in my eyes.
Yeah, he's a medium at best.
But he's only 8th with 35 goals for the year. The rest, Carl Langford's another medium to tall. But the rest of them are tall key forwards.
Yeah.
The top 4 Kerno, Hogan, King, and Harry Mackay. There is a very strong possibility that the forward line could either be four talls and your two half forward midfielders,
Mm-hmm.
or we're going to have the likes of those, like even a Bont could be selected at a forward pocket.
Yeah, we're gonna have that year. The year where Dusty was selected in the forward pocket or whatever it was. It's gonna be one of those ones. I
It's crazy.
I completely agree in that this year I think this is actually a decent topic that probably can get saved for a different episode because it's something that we can get absolutely stuck in the weeds on. But I think the art of the small forward is not as good as it probably should be right now. There aren't that many small forwards that can just like turn a game on its head. There's like Eddie Betts was there and now he's not here anymore. And it's like there like you can't really look at any of the small forwards on any team and be like that person can change a game consistently. Small forwards aren't known for their consistency. I'll give them that. Like that's fine. Like I'm okay with that. But like Charlie Cameron hasn't had a good year. Cosy Pickett is very on and off. The fact that Jack Higgins playing in a St Kilda team that is like 18th for points scored has more goals than the likes of Charlie Cameron and all these people is kind of insane. This year is going to be the year where there's going to be four massive trees, maybe one medium-sized forward if they can squeeze one in there, and then a midfielder. Like, that's what it's going to be because I don't think any small forwards get the nod this year. And it sucks because it's a very vital part of a game. Like having a small forward, having crumbing forwards is very important into a team. But just this year, not that many have been that good. So, I don't know. Like Bobby Hill hasn't been great. Like it's interesting. It's a weird year.
Very good topic because I think it's going to be something that, will be talked about over the next 6 weeks. And it's something to keep an eye on for us, I think, as we lock in our all Australian locks. I tell you what's almost also locked in, and I think it will be announced very, very soon, is the AFL Grand Final entertainment.
Yes. Yeah.
And the rumor is Katy Perry. Now, I really don't mind it. Now, I can guarantee the set list will be firework, raw.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see California Girls.
Dark Horse probably
flies over.
Yeah, Dark Horse will probably get around.
Great song.
Great song. I was going to say, not a big Katy Perry fan. Fucking love Dark Horse. Great song.
Oh, yeah, man. I fuck with that shit. No doubt about it. And then she'll probably perform one of her new songs from whatever album's coming out, Women's World. So that probably, I think that came out the other day. But I think Katy Perry will be locked in. Whoever's around her, probably Shepherd. Who's Australian that needs to be locked in?
Some Amy Shark or some shit like that. I don't know.
Amy Shark is probably she's everywhere.
Jessica
up there because Valley will be Samantha Jade.
Samantha Jade. Reese Maston. Oh, here we go. We're on. We're in some areas.
What's Guy Sebastian doing?
I'm sure he'll be around. Look, Katy Perry is probably like the AFL, I think, is getting better at attracting the bigger names for these things. They had Ed Sheeran before he was cool, which is actually a pretty decent effort. So good on us. Like they couldn't get him now. But like last year they had Kiss, obviously, but like Kiss had just toured, so it was kind of like fresh kind of thing. Katy Perry also comes into that little caveat of like she's already performed an Australian thing before. Like she performed for the Women's World Cup for the cricket. So like she's done a similar thing before. Like they're trying to reach really high international acts and stuff like that. And like good on them. Like, Katy Perry, from all accounts, I haven't been to a concert of hers, but from all accounts, she's got a great performance. So like, yeah, why not? Like let it happen. Get a bit of eyes to it. New album as well, so kind of a good time to do it. Yeah.
Please don't perform Swish Swish.
God, I hate that song. Talk about Dark Horse being a song. That's a bad one.
Another one bites the dust. Swish, swish, bish.
That song is so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's I would like. I mean, we all have dreams of who could be, and I love that we talk about it because it becomes a bigger thing than what it should be because no one sits there.
Yeah.
No one, like a 20-minute performance, fantastic. All right, my team's going to play grand final now. So it's never going to be to the heights of what they see in the Super Bowl or Even the NHL they have a full week of people doing performances. I've seen before. So yeah, it's I like that they've sort of got Katy Perry's not washed, but she's past.
Not washed. She's not washed, but she's past.
She's past that peak of she has dominated. She's not going to be that again.
Yeah.
She's not going to be what Taylor Swift is now, or
I've just realized the NFL is very good at that. They're really good at getting people that are just past their prime but can still put a good performance on. They did it with Kiss, obviously. Robbie Williams did it. The Killers did it. Like it was just like get the guys up their hits.
Past.
Like hits are done. Now roll them in. Like let's roll through it. The only issue I have with the grand final stuff, and it's like it's not anyone's fault. It's that you don't really remember the good one. Like you don't see lists every year of best grand final performances, but you will always see lists of worst grand final performances. So you never have anything to gain out of these things. Like you can go in there and put on the performance of your life, and they'll be like, "That was pretty cool," and then everyone forgets about it because they remembered Meatloaf in 2010. So it's like you unless you're bad, that's the only way you're gonna get remembered out of these things, and it's like you can't win. Like good luck to you.
And you're right, because we always talk about the society at the moment, and especially the football culture on social media is always talking about we're talking about obscure things, and everyone will, instead of talking about the stars, they'll bring up, I don't know, Port Adelaide Daniel Stewart from 2011 type of thing. It's like that type of mentality at the moment, or talking point. So we do that with the AFL Entertainment. We're going to talk about Meatloaf. We're going to talk about Tones and I performing in 2019, which no one remembers.
I was there for it. And I was like, fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, quite literally. Like, Dance Monkey was a thing. Like,
pretty sure Shepherd was the main act in the 2021. Like, that was like the big performance of 2020 was Shepherd. And it was like, geez, COVID was a rough fucking time.
Wasn't 2021 Birds of Tokyo?
I think so.
In Perth?
Yeah, I think
so. So then you've gone from we talk about the performances of this decade so far. 2020 Shepherd, 2021 Birds of Tokyo, 2022 was Robbie Williams, 2023 Kiss, and now most likely Katy Perry. Building, like you're building.
Getting there. I think by 2030 we'll be hitting like peak, like some real big names. But I think for now we just need to calm down a little bit.
I think the AFL don't have the mindset of let's see who's touring around in September. Yeah. Who could make that quick flight from New Zealand to Melbourne for a weekend type of thing? They're not really looking into that. And I think they just go, the board meeting would be there. It'd be so fucking funny. I reckon they're sitting there going, right, we're playing word association, but with bands and musicians. And they're throwing out names. Like, it's just whatever shit sticks to the wall.
It's literally 10, 60-year-old white guys being like, who's popular these days? Do they still listen to Katy Perry? Yeah, all right, we'll put her in. Someone give her a ring. What's she doing at the minute? Like, it's just, and the exact same as last year, like, fucking Kiss is available. How good's Kiss? It's like, all right, like, thanks, guys.
My daughter listens to Katy Perry. I think we should get them. Yeah,
but like,
is that a band?
Yeah, like also, mate, like your daughter is now older too. So like, let's just.
This bloke's 60. His daughter's 33. He's got 2 kids traveling on the way to work, dropping the kids off, and Katy Perry's California Girls is performing.
Fuck yeah,
it's Fresh one at 2.3. You know what I mean?
AFL makes some interesting decisions, but it's funny. You know what? And I'm sure, like I said, she'll be good. Like, I know she'll be good. But it's just very funny the way they pick them. They always just like, we need some out of touch. We need some out of prime people right now. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
I just think they have one in them in the next couple of years that will go mental. We look at like the NRL sort of had some interesting ones themselves, and we're not going to talk about the NRL, but like, they've had some that actually quite good. I think they had One Republic a couple of years ago.
They had Macklemore. No, Macklemore was that one.
Macklemore, like, it's crazy. So I look at it, and I've done some pre-planning for the AFL, right? Yeah, I've done it. Yeah. So I've looked at who's released an album this year that will almost certainly be touring in the next couple of years. So if you lay out a plan, I look at, obviously Ariana Grande's release. I reckon she could be good. You'd never know. She's still in that prime period. Obviously, Taylor Swift's been touring around, so she can't really do it. we're talking about, and I'll probably throw in Jimmy Barnes somewhere as well to take the Australian status quo.
Oh,
They
fucking
normally
always,
do.
always.
Yeah. Oh, that bloke, guys. Yep. No, he's not done yet, is he? Oh, fantastic. There's one man who's always been controversial and has new music, and I think could be touring. And I thought about this the other day when he released the album. I was like, you know what? Him performing at the AFL Grand Final would be elite. Imagine the crowd. You just want to go for this. Eminem at the AFL Grand Final for entertainment, a 20-minute set. The ground is his. Lose Yourself, Without Me, the real Slim Shady. He could throw in one of his new songs, whatever you want to do.
Whatever. Yeah.
Throw in Houdini.
Berserk.
Not Afraid. Berserk. Oh, like,
yeah.
I've seen him in concert, so I know it would be a montage of the songs.
Yep. Even better. I think we're at the same concert, which is very funny. Secondly, I would love that. I also think it'd be hilarious if this is a staple, right? And happens. I don't know if it happens at Adelaide Oval as well, but at 3/4 time of every single AFL game, when the teams are starting to run back out, they always play "Lose Yourself," but they never actually play the lyrics. They just do like the dun, dun, like that bit.
Yeah.
I think it would be fucking hilarious if at 3/4 time of the AFL Grand Final, instead of just playing the thing over the top, Eminem just comes out to the middle and just starts singing this song, and he's walking off as the players are coming on, and it's like it's happening, but it's live, and I get to hear the words this time.
And he's got his own banner.
Yes.
And it's just got lyrics on the banner. Oh, that would be sick.
Now I just want Eminem to.
All right, this is our petition. We are officially, the Glass Table is launching a petition
For
to have Eminem perform.
Yeah.
2025 AFL Grand Final, Eminem.
Done.
Go on, AFL. Oh, that's it. Like, he's ticking the status quo.
Tick the box.
Don't lose yourself, AFL now. You're not afraid to do it.
How many more Eminem puns can you sneak into the rest of this episode?
I'm a Godzilla for puns, man.
I would have gone personally with I'm about to go berserk, but that works too.
No, it's too good. Too good. This show wouldn't be fucking a thing without me.
I was waiting to see where you were going to sneak it in.
Anyway, speaking of things that we should open, you know what pun would have led really well into that is just cleaning out my closet. Now I've just opened a can of worms instead. So, in spite of what's been happening the past couple of weeks, and we're in our footy cards element at the moment. I picked up Footy Stars Select the other day. Had a bit of fun with it. Picked up Boak, who's nice and cute in there. So he's tucked away nicely. But we obviously did our team footy coach the other week, which was fun. Got a little good review. Team coach loved us as well. Shout out to them. But yes, send us a box each. You know what I mean? So we thought that an idea we could have every week is we'll go pack for pack. 1v1, who's got the best packs, and you decide. We'll probably decide as well. But yeah, we shall open and see who's inside, eh?
We shall. Let's do it. Oh, nice sound. Yep.
Bit of ASMR footage.
Yeah, nice. Are we going like player for player, like direct, like first player versus first player? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, do you want to do it like duel it like Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Time. All right, you go first.
That's exciting. All right, my first one off the top of the deck, top of my Yu-Gi-Oh deck is not a bad pick. Jeremy McGovern to begin. Big day.
Interesting. I see your Jeremy McGovern and raise you Bradley Smith.
Okay, I think I win.
Well, they're both not playing.
Jeremy Gubbins played at least this year, so
Oh, don't be so disrespectful. Anyway, next one.
yes. Would you like to go first this time?
Yeah, I will. Chad Warner.
Fuck. My first one, as I look at it. Okay, not bad, not Chad Warner though. George Wardlaw.
That's not bad.
Not bad, not Chad Warner.
A couple of commons to start off this one so far for me, so I'm not having too much fun there. But do you want to go on this one?
Yes, let's have a look. Okay. Oh my goodness. That is something of a rare card, I think. Maybe. Sorry, we'll look at it after. It is a Silver Star Powers, Josh Rochelle.
Oh,
Look at the shine. Look at the shine on
I think all the star powers went into that card because you lost them at the moment.
it. Look, yeah, maybe. He also gets himself suspended from things every week, so that's fine. But yeah, no.
We've all got attitude problems. All right, mine. Another common.
Ugh,
Daniel Rioli.
interesting.
I think yours wins for star powers.
I think just because the card's cooler. I think all
Yeah.
your special ones are going to come at the end of your pack, which means that's where all my commons are going to come through. So good luck to us, I suppose.
So what is the common denominator, Jared? Me again.
Yep, you.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Grind Myers. Common.
Not a bad one though. I might have you covered just. Sammy Walsh with
Just.
with the little cutout.
Just.
Grind's good. Grind's a good. Grind's
I might
good.
have you covered just. Oh, one of a generational footballer and a bloke that fucking goes right angles just to kick a football through a goal. Yeah, just. You win that one.
All right, my end. We got a St Kilda boy. We have a Bradley Hill. Common.
Oh, I win.
Yeah, I was good. I thought you would.
Connor Rosie.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Common Connor Rosie.
Yes.
Connor Rosie.
Rosie.
Yep, I'll accept it.
Yep.
You?
No, you this time. I did Bradley Hill.
Again. Ooh,
Special boy.
Lucky Nil.
Yeah, that'll do it. I have a Stephen Canelio. So you're gonna take me there. Absolutely.
I do, just because he folds out.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
You?
Me. Not a bad one. Good captain. Jai Sipkin.
Oh, not bad. But I think I've got you. Star Powers. LDU.
Oh, it's a good card.
Yeah.
Two North boys going at it though. Not bad.
Rawr. Roo. Kanga. Roo. I've got Hockey Schultz.
Ooh, I might have it here.
Card.
Got Stephen May.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice. Key defender. One of the better key defenders in the comp. Stephen May. Played well on Saturday night, on all accounts.
Hockey Schultz did not Friday night. So
He hasn't played well pretty much at all this year, so doesn't surprise me.
I don't think Hockey Schultz has played, to be honest.
And my final one.
Should we do it at the same time?
Yeah. It's going to look weird on the Zoom, but we're going to figure it out anyway.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
Oh,
this is interesting. Now, Adam Chera, from what I've seen on Twitter in the last few days, Adam Chera is getting severely turned against by a lot of the Carlton fan base.
Really?
In the last few days, because apparently his contest work isn't exactly what it was up to. But Rory Laird, tell you what, we were talking about past their prime people. No, Laird's been fine. Laird's been good.
I can't believe you've just thrown Some shit at my Adam Chera. That's a low blow. Jesus.
I threw him back at lead, so it's fine.
Well, at least the team he plays for is good, unlike Leeds.
That's true. It's a good
And
point.
and Rodet's card isn't shiny.
That's fair. You got me there.
All right, so interesting. I think my pack wins.
Well, the way I just counted it, I think mine does.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had it as 4-4, and then Laird and Chera is like the final.
But as a team, like I think mine structure's better because I've got Rosie, Lockie, Neal just studdling on in the midfield. Rioli coming off the half back line. Warner's at half forward swapping in. Bailey Smith, well, he's just on the bench at the moment. Grind Myers is at the other half forward, so he's doing all right. Then you got Lockie Shields in the forward pocket with Chera also running through the midfield, and so does LDU.
I'll tell you what, I just like laid mine out. I like the look of mine though. You got McGovern and May in the back line. You got Bradley Hill running the wing. The midfield of Walsh, Warlaw, Simpkin, Josh Rochelle in the forward line. Stephen Canelio at half forward. We have Rory Laird where he wants to go, wherever the fuck he wants to go. Either half back or half forward, doesn't matter.
Oh, lucky we're not deciding.
It's down to them.
Down to them, down to you people.
Yes.
Also, going by the poll that I did on the Instagram story, it looks like I won the thing. So
Tell you what it is.
if you
I don't know how you win all the polls.
I don't pay the people.
I was gonna say there's some shady business dealings happening, I think.
Absolutely not. The people just think I'm stupidly sexy.
Fuck. You actually fuck. I pride myself on knowing every week when it happens, and I didn't get that one. Fuck. That is so rough.
Suck it. Oh, that was so good.
Fuck.
Pack v Pack has worked wonders for me, surprising you. Yes, just quickly, obviously, we'll put that up and do a bit of a mini video for people to vote. So, yeah, all good.
Yep.
But yeah, stupid sexy time, which is as as we like to do, the best and most derailing segment in football.
Every time.
All right, Homer, tell me what I've got to do.
Stupid sexy
AFL players.
All right, stupid sexy time. It's obviously stupid sexy AFL things because we don't really do people. Well, we do people, not AFL players, but
People.
dug myself a hole there, but that's fine. But yes, do you want to go first?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like this person that I'm about to pick, I probably could have picked last week and it would have worked better. But now I'm going to be a week late. Talk about past that prime. Picking it a week late. I'm like the AFL board. This person that I that I speak of has been a fundamental part of my life since probably 2007-ish, maybe. And I have admired the way this person goes about it forever. And I feel like I have to include them as a stupid sexy because for about 7 years there, the most polarizing figure in sports entertainment, yet the most incredible person, human being, and stupid sexy man, Mr. You Can't See Me himself, John Cena, right? I absolutely love this guy. And obviously, last week, he announced his retirement from the AFL, or the AFL, from the WWE.
He could have played the AFL. We just
Could have
didn't
played
see
AFL the
it.
way he was going. But you talk about like you had your moments era, right? And this week we had this conversation earlier in the week in that you just get stuck watching Cena highlights sometimes. Like sometimes you just start just cycling through, like this is just what I'm doing now.
Absolutely.
And I saw two moments the other day that I thought were incredible, right? And it is my favorite. It's my favorite genre of John Cena is when he is obviously meant to be the face, obviously meant to be the good guy, but he walks into an arena where everyone fucking hates him, right? And he just has to just like steel himself, and he knows it, and he's like, I'm just gonna be a fucking badass the entire time. So my favorite two moments of John Cena ever. ECW One Night Stand. He walks in and everyone there is fucking abusing him. So he just walks in, head down, just title above his head. Unreal. Second one, he walks into Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago. Everyone is fucking abusing him. And usually he does the big run down the ramp and the big, like, whatever. This time he just still walks his way to the ring, head down, don't care. I just love He's very good at working the crowd, and like for most of his life, he was hated by a lot of people, including myself for periods of time, because I was like, okay, like it's fine. But he knew when the right time was to be the bad guy, and everything he's done since, he has now progressed to the point where every time he shows up, everyone just loves him no matter what. Like even the old haters are like, fuck it, love him, he's back, and I love the guy. And again, we should have picked him last week, but I'm very thankful to John Cena for everything he did growing up. Like I lost my shit when he returned to the Royal Rumble in 2008. Like it's like my first
Yeah,
memory of WWE is him returning. And yeah, John Cena, you are the stupid sexy man and a very great guy on absolutely all accounts.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a nice pick.
Yeah, it's a nice pick. He's just a nice guy.
I think that's the first time we've ever had a stupid sexy where we just can't see what they look like, but it's
So you can't call him ugly though, because we don't even know.
correct. We're going by aura.
Exactly. His aura is just like so
Oh,
stupid.
so many points. Uh, you could count them on all of your knuckles and give it a bit of a shuffle. That's terrible. Anyway,
Also,
yeah,
I don't know if you saw. Sorry, this is another thing. I saw Xavier Dersman when he kicked his goal for the Bombers. He does his bow and arrow, and then after he did the bow and arrow, did the you guys see?
yeah. You're
And I was
about
like,
6 weeks late on that.
yes. No, he did it again though, and I was like,
Oh,
that's
oh, I thought you mentioned the first time he did it. I was like, well,
no, he
hang on
did
a
it like
second.
the Saturday that just passed, and I was like, look at that. That's
I think what would be the most best stupid sexy moment ever is John Cena being announced the 17th time world champion.
ending, loading,
Give it to me.
please, please.
Nah. I don't know how to follow that, but I'm also gonna stick with people that have influenced my life since 2007. And he has aura. He has amazing. He's just perfect, really. But I talk about moments, and having a moment is becoming my thing at the moment.
Yep.
I don't know how to build this up in any other way to say he's had 17 games where he hasn't kicked a goal. He had 15 in a row behinds, and finally, the drought has broken. Travis Boak kicked a goal. The drought is done. It's over. He's kicked a goal in 2024. Like I'm complete. I'm finished. I finished. That's it. Nothing else. Oh, not like that. Get your head out of the gutter.
But it's hard when when you're talking about stupid sexy things and you're like, I have finished. Like
Well, I did. I mean, there's no other way. I'm telling you, there's no other way to dance around it.
Can't put it any other way.
We were going to lose that game, and I celebrated like we won it just for one
Also,
goal.
by the way, like you were down there, like 4 goals, and he kicked it. He's on the ground, like.
Hey, it brought us back within 14 points. 3 goals in 3 minutes is nothing. But the thing about it is he kicked. Man, I don't think he was celebrating for the team having a chance to win. He's celebrating the fact that he finally kicked a goal.
Good on the damn wall's burst now. He's going to come out next week and kick 6.
Oh, the damn wall definitely burst. Let me tell you. He's going to come home strong and kick a few goals now. Very nice, John Chenna.
It's nice of us to both pick people that were very influential in the 2010s.
Yeah, one you couldn't see, and one, well, blessed me that I could see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Oh, crap.
was
It
very
happened.
good,
It
very
happened.
good.
Yeah.
Just remember the goal now, just him running in, straightening up to kick a goal, man. Anyway, that's fine. Very good. Just before we finish off, there's a few housekeeping things I would like to do.
Yes.
Just to clean up a few things. Firstly, the tip update. We're getting in the last 6 rounds of the year. And it is currently 2 points between the two of us. I'm on 86.5 and you're on 84.5. Obviously, a recount will occur at the end of the year because
Make
I
sure.
have a feeling it's sometimes I might have just, forgotten a week or I haven't added it up. I'm not sure. But that will be the case. The other thing I wanted to clean up as well is Joel Lewis count.
I was gonna say it's a sore spot now, I feel. It's a bit of
Yeah,
a
it's very difficult to it's a touchy subject.
yes. Unfortunately, for those that aren't aware of the news, Mitch Lewis did unfortunately do an ACL and will no longer be able to take part in the Joel Lewis count. Which is,
Because that's what people are most devastated for.
yeah, people as soon as they saw the ACL thing come up, they're like, "Fuck the count, man!" Like, oh,
It
what's
was
going
on
to
30.
happen? I know he was on the way, but
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Joel was going to be able to make up the ground by himself. Um, but yeah, it's a bit of a touchy subject. Mitch Lewis.
Oh well. Sometimes you just can't perform. So it's okay. Best of luck, Mitch Lewis, in your recovery, and I'm sure we'll see you next year ready to continue the count on.
I'm sorry.
And one other thing, and I put it in capital letters. We'd like to shout out a special friend who has become part of the Glass Table family, Matty Eagles.
Oh yes, Mr. Matty Eagles himself.
The recruit. The
The
recruit.
recruit. Now,
It's like the man.
everybody, for those that are still watching, what I would like you to do currently, what I would like you to do currently to the people that are still watching and or listening is go right to Matty Eagles' Instagram page right now, right? Because all throughout his Instagram, it's really nice photos, photos from his AFL playing days, photos from anything like that. And you look at the front page of his Instagram, and the first thing you see is just a square of air tags just right in the top left corner because he's decided to collaborate with us in fantastic form. And it is incredible to look at. It's so funny. And I'm like, never did I think we would get to this. And look at that. Like, that is perfect. Maddie, we will be in touch very soon.
It's just picturesque photos of him and his life and showcasing everything.
Family.
And it's just me. Me. I'm planted in there on our subpar Zoom call quality video that's been edited up by me on CapCut because I need to put out a talk this week. And there it is. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Matt. We will definitely be in touch very soon, but you're an absolute treasure. And if anyone's going to get the recruit back on the air, it is the recruit that is going to get it back on the air. So we're continuing our petition. We need that show back.
I think we should go on after our footy performances on the weekend.
We didn't talk about that. I forgot about that.
Oh no, I set this up perfectly. Just quickly though.
Yeah.
Had to go.
Yeah, look, as a little pre-spoiler for everybody that wants to know how we went, I think we won by a combined 270 points on the weekend, our two teams. Wow. We won by 150. It was the worst game of football I think I've ever been a part of in my life. It was so boring. Happened. I had a set shot and I missed. So all that work that we put into the goal kicking down at Noble Park was for nothing. And next week we play the bottom team. That's right, that wasn't the bottom team.
You got to be kidding me.
So that was the third bottom team. The first game I played for the reserves was the second bottom team, and then next week we play the bottom team.
So what you're telling me is you're a dead rubber specialist.
I'll tell you what, if you ever want to win a game by over 120 points, you come to me.
So, so what you're saying is you're a list clogger.
Yeah, absolutely, I am. However, I know somebody that isn't a list clogger, and that is you, Sir Anthony. How did you go on the weekend?
Yeah, look, won by 100, had 45, and was one of the better performances of the year. That's the honest.
Can't say that else about it. Just too good. Too good on the day.
In the long sleeve, muddy conditions, ball was floating in the air all day, every day. I would have broken the record, the AFL record for intercept marks.
Yeah.
I think the record's 10.
Seemingly never broken record. You would have got it. Yeah, that's fair.
After the first quarter, I reckon.
Now, all right. Obviously, I've heard how your performance was on the field, but I heard your off-field performance was even better. Are there any comments to that situation, considering how hungover you are today?
There'll be a statement made during the week. Until then, no further comment. Let's just say, if you're ever going to mix anything, do not put vodka and Powerade together.
It's like ruining the one thing that'll save your hangover.
You have nothing. Like, let me tell you have nothing to look forward to the next day. I drank this today after having, I reckon, 3 bottles worth of this with vodka, like last night. Just when you wake up and the first thing you look at is your clock and your vision is impaired and you can't really see and you feel sick, and then you look at your desk and there's a full bottle of purple Powerade after mixing it all last night. It's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yuck.
But thankfully, got Monte Carlos to save me.
And that is what has given you the strength today.
Yeah, that and Travis Boak's goal. And that is the perfect way to finish, I reckon.
We did it. Absolutely.
Yeah, subscribe, watch everything. You know what to do. Follow us at all of it, and go Mate Eagles, eh?
Yeah, woo!
Oh, one more thing before I go. You remember the time I came over and absolutely stumped you all the time, every time?